Jai Shri Krishna. So today we are going to see an article showing that living in urban cities anywhere in the world, you live in any urban city, it's a horrible thing. So let's see a proper research on this made by King's College London and Duke University. So these two institutions have made research showing that living in urban cities can cause damage to people, great damage. So stop living in urban cities is what this article says, especially young people. For example, 18 years old, 17 years old, or 11 years old, 12 years old too will develop this kind of impact. And that's why the thing given here, urban life. What is urban life? Living in an urban place, going around here and there, running fast, all the activity that happens. By morning you'll hear so much sound of different kinds of vehicles and then you hear, wow, well, Abhigya, rush, 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 rush. That is called the modern urban system. Well, what we have to do is, now let's see this kind of a research on the urban system, why it's bad for everybody. So let's see. Bangalore, Mumbai, Chennai, Paris, Chicago, you say New York, or you say Sydney, Melbourne, living in the hectic areas of these places are bad, it's dangerous. And we see Delhi. Can't even talk about Delhi. You'll feel like vomiting when you talk about Delhi or Bangalore or even Mumbai or maybe Chennai. So be very careful of these main ports like Kolkata and all of these things. These people who live in these kinds of places, it's in absolute waste to live in such places, because this first of all is a tense life. It's a full tense life because all IT companies are located here. Wherever IT companies are located, that particular place is going to be a tense place. It's going to be horrible. It's going to be, I can't keep enumerating the kinds of adjectives that I can put for a city, but it's dangerous. So let's see a research, because people sometimes need proof. Let's see that. King's College London and Duke University. How much ever they've studied, PhD, MA, nobody can debate that cities are bad. Even a small kid of maybe 2 years old will release symptoms about damage of city life. Even a villager will know that living in a city is horrible, because they live in the city at the most dirty compartments of the city. So that's why let's see how this is. King's College London and Duke University say that based on an analysis they conducted of 2018-year-old living in major cities throughout England and Wales, city living may not be at all healthy for the brain. The higher an individual's level of urbanicity is found, the study found, the more at risk he is of suffering mental problems, which include everything from psychotic episodes to believing that spies were watching him. Well, this is really funny, because in cities people are totally different. They always are fearing one or the other thing. Somebody's watching on me, somebody's doing all this. They hear voices in their heads. They are not able to understand what's happening. Suddenly they recollect something that happened yesterday, and in this morning they sit daydreaming that somebody's spying on them. They hear voices in their heads. There's nothing around, but they still hear voices coming all around. They are spoiled people, basically. Stop living in a city or you can develop this urban psychotic symptom. So this is very dangerous. Urban psychotic symptom, USS. So if you live in US, you're sure to get USS. If you live in Bangalore, you're sure to get this disease. So the team conducted surveys in which more than 5,000 immediate neighbors of the participants were assessed based on their personal experiences of crime and other urban factors. So one of the urban factors is crime. Every single place you would see one person committing a crime, or one person getting a crime, or one person being the victim of a crime. So that happens in urban places. In villages, crime is very less. And even if crime happens, that is only because of the problems in the cities that they commit crime here. So somehow the city concept that we have in modern day is a waste, I would say. The city concept is a waste. Villages are supposed to be given more funds so that they can grow for the world, they can grow for our country, they can grow for each one of the stomachs that we have. We can become healthy. If we don't have anything to fill our stomach, then what is the use of any kind of city? And if you become mad someday because of living in a city, seeing the tall buildings above your head and then turning around and seeing small houses like this, and this kind of a psychotic problem will create destruction in people's brains. So even we have seen this. I was in Melbourne. I've been to Australia, Australia, Melbourne, and in Germany I've been to Stuttgart. Well, Stuttgart was not such a horrible place. So Bangalore would be an example, Delhi would be an example, Mumbai. These huge cities are menace. Any city which is so-called being developed is a waste. So it's given here, psychotic problems can be made by living in such cities. Based on the results, the team concluded that among adolescents living in the largest and most densely populated cities, more than 34% of them reported at least one of 13 different psychotic symptoms. Conversely, only about 21% of adolescents living in more favorable neighborhoods reported psychotic symptoms, suggesting that living in urban environments directly contributes to the development of mental problems. So, people going mad is very frequent nowadays. People just go mad. However civilized they are, they go mad about the things happening. They become angry, they become sad, they become depressed. Some people even jump off the buildings. There are many cases like this. In big cities, they just IIM graduates just jump off the building. Whether it would be stress of education or life, anything, it comes back to the city. The city is designed in such a way that drop off from the 30th floor of the building. This is horrible. Depopulation agenda, stack them and pack them in long places. We'll get more videos on this, but still, this is the beginning of it. Psychotic problems. People have sit at the top of buildings like this. No way to come down. They bomb you, you're gone. You're gone means you're gone. Then they'll come and say, really sorry, it was a 9/11 attack. You see, some terrorists came and bombed it open. Well, it's because of them. The government funds. That's a different thing. People may again question me about this a lot, but that's the truth, I would say. Someday if you get bombed, you won't consider whether the government or the terrorists doing this. You are in danger. So why live in such a tall building, or even in a small place where you get damaged by the tall buildings? There's so much risk in a city life. There's so much risk everywhere. Crimes, problems. It's not safe to live in a city. Getting a small loss, theft or something is not even common, is most common in a city than in a village. In a village there's no theft at all. Before in ancient India and even in the middle times, doors used to be open to people. It was the ancient Vedic period. And now, since Industrial Revolution and all has started eating up everybody, this is what is the effect. If you're bad, too bad? No, change it. So, next would be, these findings highlight the importance of early preventative strategies for reducing psychosis risk and suggest that adolescents living in threatening neighborhoods within cities should be made a priority. So the people who have conducted this is Dr. Helen Fisher, one of the researchers from King's College, as quoted. So this is the one. His name is Dr. Helen Fisher. So one more thing we would see is stresses from these city life things that happen daily in a city life routine. One of them is reduction of dopamine. So they seem to be depressed more. So what is dopamine? It's a chemical released by our brain. It's a hormone released by our brain and other glands when you feel very happy. So when you feel happy, these kind of things come out of your brain. But then what happens is when you live in a depressed place and you're not able to expose the humans. What is humanity? Humanity is to expose emotions one another, create spirituality between people, and be a human. What is this? Not even allowed to feel the happiness inside yourself. You just get a few bugs in your hand. It's not happiness. Happiness is to stay in a village. Happiness is to stay in a countryside. Happiness is to stay in a clean, natural place. It's not in cities. Cities is bad, and there's a research to prove that cities are bad. So have some conscience and come out of the cities. That's the best. Thank you. Jai Shri Krishna.